Everyone is telling you to vibe code. Everyone is telling you to build an app. Everyone is telling you to up on Cloud Code, Codex. You know, everyone is telling you to up on random different AI models that can code and telling you to just build an app. Just do it, right? And they don't tell you how hard or difficult it actually is building an app from development to production, because you are basically becoming a project manager, not even a project manager. You are becoming a project manager, a DevOps, a DevOps engineer. You're becoming a backend, a backend developer, a front end developer. You're becoming all of those things, and they tell you that okay, just prompt, replicate, Claude Code, lovable, just do this, like just ask it to do this, and it's gonna do it right. But they don't tell you what you're gonna do when you run into errors, which unfortunately that's part of coding also. Like, you have all these senior developers and telling you that okay, all you just have to do is code, sorry, prompt, and then but then what they don't tell you, like, you need to have structure before you actually are able to code. So in this video, my plan or the idea behind it is to show you guys how I would normally vibe code so that whenever I run into errors, I'm able to fix it. And you don't just tell an AI model to just build something for you, because that is a recipe for a disaster, because you are gonna end up with errors that you can't even see or that you can't even read, because it just generated a bunch of code that you don't know what the code does. And now you have to start digging into all the little errors or all the little hallucinations it has generated in your code base. So in this video, I'll show you how I actually vibe code. It's gonna be a short description, a short idea, just to give you guys a template to follow. So the first thing you want to do is actually go to any of your AI models that you prefer, your paid version, your free version, whatever it is, and start with the idea that you have, right? So I'll create a new chat. So start with an idea that you have, okay? You want to start with very generic, prompting idea. You don't want to go into the coding itself, or telling it to generate the code. Just have an idea. Say, I have an idea to build a. Let's start with I have an idea to build a management system for a farmer or farmers, or maybe you want to build a management system for farmers so that you can sell them the service, software as a service, right? You know, just go crazy with the idea. Let's say you want to build a management system even a church. Let's go with a church actually. No, let's go with a business type of. So management system for a warehouse. What is the ideal um tech stack to build the API with? Right. So I want the API to be robust and efficient. So this is a very kind of rough, idea of, because the thing about AI is that it is a very good, way to bounce off ideas with. Just start with something simple like, okay, I have an idea and I want to try to build this out. So what type of, architecture do I need, or what type of API, or what type of, software do I need? I want it to be fast. I want it to be robust. I want it to be very secure. So I want it to be secure. Just throw all these things at it with just throw all these, things that you want it in an API. It doesn't have to be very structured. Just throw it with the idea and then tell it that, I what's um what technologies would I need? And yeah, just start with this, and it'll tell you what you need to do. It's just give you a very tech stack for it. And okay, it has something right here. It said Node.js plus TypeScript with Fastify on Nest.js, and the database layer Postgres. Okay, Redis, OPM architecture. Okay, so basically now you have something much more concrete than your idea, which was just this. So you can see like where you need to actually ask it more questions. Ask it. So from this now, you can read through the generated code, and you can ask it more questions about, okay, what about, maybe you had someone tell you about Go or Rust or Django, and then you ask, why not use Django? Why not use this thing, uh Rust or something like that? Even it even said alternatively use fast API. So why not use fast API? Okay. So again, all of these things that you probably want to probably want to know about your your products that you're actually building for people to use, or the security risk of using different things, or the performance, again, all of these things, you probably don't need to think too much about it, but again, it's just a way to see from just a short code like this, you have something much more to, okay, why not use this? Okay, now it's saying barcode QR scanning. Like maybe I haven't thought about that. So again, just start with something like this, and then once you're done prompting now, or you have built a very concrete idea with your Claude AI, then you can say, okay, I now want to prompt Claude Code, Codex, whatever it may be, Claude Code to build this app. Give me different prompts so I can so Claude does not hallucinate or over engineer um the code base. Explicitly tell it to not create features I have not asked, and be very intentional with the prompt. Do um do not leave any room for hallucination, or for um unnecessary code. So kind of now we want to generate a prompt so that we can feed the Claude Code. This is after you have done more research, more everything. It has given you a framework, whatever it may be. So TypeScript, right? Framework is Nest.js or Fastify, database, ORM, Q, RabbitMQ, right? Okay. So you have all of these things. And then kind of like, okay, now to start building, right? But the thing about building is, if I need to ask you to generate the prompt, right? So once you generate the prompt here, we're now going to our, preferred AI models that we want to build with Claude Code Codex. So I have my Claude Code here in a kind of a backend that I'm building right now. I have a course coming out, not a course, but me actually do this in real time, vibe coding, and a backend API. So it's coming out soon after this video. So be on the lookout for that. So you kind of go into your Claude Code, create a new session, right? And then obviously you're not in the same kind of file system. You have an empty file directory or a folder. You have an empty folder. So you switch it to an empty folder, and then you ask Claude Code that you give Claude Code the prompt which you have basically generated from this. So again, it was already giving you phases of the project already. And now you have more structure for Claude Code or Codex, or your separate, your what's it, Replit, your Lovable. You have more structure for it to follow rather than just going out there and building anything that you don't want it to do. So now you have very intentional code that you have this thing to bounce off of. So in case you have any error, or you are seeing something that you don't like in your code, you can now ask it. So you need a sort of what do you call it? An an advisor per se, because that is what You don't need someone to just build the code for you. That's just dangerous in itself. You need someone to advise you on what your coder is doing so that you can actually, okay, all right, I see that it did this. Do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? Do I need to build on top of this feature or do I need to test it first? Do I need to, just kind of keep on? It's already giving you much more structure than you would have if you just asked it to vibe code on its own. So it has given you five phases, right? So now you have like five prompts that you give Claude Code. And once you have the Claude Code, once you have like, any of your AI models working in your VS Code or wherever it may be, you prompt it, it generates it, create a new session, prompt it, generate it again, again, and again. And then, okay, you have something kind of semi-working, you have something that's kind of, relatively, sensible to test. And once you have those, that layout, that foundation, kind of keep building on top of it. You have to test because again, you now want to maybe you have built something that you should be able to see it's working right. You then go back to your advisor and ask it to, how do I test this with wherever, how do I test this in development, how do I test this before it goes live or wherever it may be. And then you just keep on building from there, not just, I want to build an app and if you allow any AI model to go off, I want to build just an app, it goes crazy and it doesn't it doesn't follow rules, it doesn't follow structure, it just follows what it thinks that you might want. And there's a lot of room for hallucination of engineering, um, dumb code, spaghetti code, rubbish code. Again, that's what the real life code is built on. But since you don't know what the code is, you want to have a way of kind of focusing where the errors will be, where the errors are not gonna be. So once you run into an error and you want to test it and you want to make sure everything is fine, you just keep asking, prompting it, and I need a chip. What is it? Once maybe you're finished building everything, development, all of that. So you go back to your advisor and kind of ask, what is a chip? Even if you don't know what your advisor is saying, copy it, create a new chart. It doesn't take much time. Ask it, what does this mean? And then it gives you, okay, so let me say, um, I saw something maybe I don't know what um maybe I don't understand what this is. So I copy it. I'm not copying the full thing, but you get the idea. Create a new chat, copy it. What does this mean? Explain in detail. So you just keep asking questions that even if you don't know idea, there you go. You don't even need to even show it much. I didn't even copy the whole thing. You just say this is a backend development task for you to add an orders feature to. And look at it, you already have much more detail for just a simple prompt that, like, and you just keep reading, and you just keep going, and you just, you go down the rabbit hole of just creating very intentional stuff. And this is how you kind of build instead of just, allowing it to code on its own and leaving it to its, um advices or devices or wherever it may be. You ask it, you prompt it, and you generate much more context around making you understand, like, okay, this is what my code is. I kind of get the idea. Maybe you see an error, be like, oh, I kind of know where this is from or where this is what. But that is the general idea of what I'm trying to kind of pass along in this video, that you don't just vibe code because it is nice. You kind of intentionally structure Claude code and direct it to where you want it to go. And yeah, so again, I just with just a few lines, which I started with this, three sentences or three lines of prompt, I'm able to kind of very intentionally create a much more structured um way of vibe coding or building the app. And yeah, that's all you have to do. Just keep prompting. If you don't understand anything, create a new chart, prompt it, and then go to Claude Code to, the thing is, you can also ask Claude Code to explain itself why it is doing certain things. It would normally do these things itself, in normal scenarios, but you can ask it to go into more detail to explain why, and then you paste the reply to Claude AI or wherever you may be. And you just keep doing this thing again until you have a very solid project or structure that you can build on. And yeah, that's it for this video. I hope I'm able to bring some sort of value to you. So I hope it has not been a whole waste of time or all of your time. So again, keep an eye out for the course that I have. Not a course, but how I do this, how I would do this as a real for a real project that I am building, which is, what you see on the screen right here. So yeah, honestly, be very structured, be very intentional. Don't just, say to build it because you're gonna run into errors. It's a part of deploying something because you're not just a vibe, you're not just a coder now. You are a project manager, you are a DevOps manager, you're a cybersecurity engineer. You're all of these things, man. Like you are, hosting it, you are creating servers, you're creating all of these things, and yeah, if you don't understand it, tell the AI to um explain it in extreme detail. I'll explain it like I'm five, like I'm literally 5 years old. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have learned something. So I'm going to delete this because I'm actually building a warehouse management system. So leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.